Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to our Salt Lake City Coyotes franchise mode here on NHL 24. I am still not used to saying that. Last episode, we made it all the way to the trade deadline in Season 1. We were hoping for a fire sale. The market wasn't particularly great, so we are going to continue to be quite mid for this season. And the next season, and the next season. I don't know how quickly we're going to be able to turn this ship around, but we are certainly going to try as we move forward here. And again, right now it is all eyes on the upcoming draft. And in terms of that lack of a fire sale, at the deadline specifically, we only tried to move players on expiring contracts. That might be the time to move a Nick Schmaltz, maybe even a Clayton Keller. Who's to say? We finish our regular season at 31, 42-9. Bad. We were bad, which shouldn't surprise anybody. Not Chicago bad, but we were bad. Taking a look here at the final standings, Colorado, Dallas, Winnipeg, Nashville, and St. Louis all made the playoffs, as Minnesota drastically underperformed. As expected, we were pretty bad, and Chicago not that great either. I hate how they have this sorted. I know it's alphabetical, but I still hate it. In the Pacific, you had Edmonton, Vancouver, and Calgary making the playoffs. So obviously we ended up with a draft pick from the Ducks. That looks like it'll be a bit better, although I don't remember if it was actually a draft pick proper. There's Vegas and LA. Both missed the playoffs because Sim Engine gonna Sim Engine. In the Atlantic, Toronto, Montreal. Jesus Christ, what are these rosters looking like, EA? Florida, Boston, and Tampa have all made the playoffs, while in the Metro, your three are Pittsburgh, New York, and Carolina. So in the grand scheme of things, Colorado wins the President's Trophy with 57 wins. We finished bottom three in the league, only ahead of Chicago and San Jose, which is about as good as that could have worked out. I mean, you look at that, just the 4-point gap between us and Columbus to end up with top 3 lottery odds. I will absolutely take that. I view that as a major success for us. In terms of our point leader this year, it was Clayton Keller, 56 with 22 goals. Logan Cooley 52 points. Schmaltz also broke 50. Easy for me to say. Dylan Guenther with just 6 goals as a sniper. What's that shot pass slider looking like, EA? And obviously from there, the numbers weren't particularly great, but by the end of the season, that was very much by design. Defensively, Moser, Dursey, Soderstrom all did okay. And then obviously other guys got to play after the trade deadline, and it did not go particularly well. Ingram and Vejmelka, provided some solid goaltending, given just how poor the team in front of them happened to be. Around the league, Nick Suzuki led the NHL in points with 114, ahead of Nathan McKinnon, Brad Marchand, Nikita Kucherov, Connor McDavid, Artemi Panarin, and others. Kucherov, I imagine, and indeed he did, led the league with 60 goals. You had McKinnon on 57, Matthews on 49, Ovi on 48, Besser at 45. Obviously, it trails off from there. Shits and gigs. 18 fights for Marcus Foligno, 14 for Corey Perry. Did Rempe not play in the NHL? I guess he didn't. We'll take a look at fights amongst defensemen as well, actually. Let's see what we got here. Oh my god, I thought it was going to be Cale Makar at the top. It resorted it by points. 100 points this year for Cale Makar. Hedman on 80. Erik Karlsson at 79. And then obviously Quinn Hughes and Miro Heiskanen also broke the 70-point mark. Top goal scorer amongst defenders was Roman Josi. No real surprise there. I do want to look at the fights, though. And 18 for Jacob Middleton, 7 for Gudas. Oh, my. It's okay. I'm going to be okay. I can play this game without letting weird, horrible outcomes affect my happiness and joy. Oh, man. Shout out to Jonathan Quick. That's realistic. Caden Primo. I mean, hey, look at that. He's finally the next Carey Price, as a lot of Habs fans were saying he was going to be. It finally happened. Among starters, though, Ilya Samsonov is probably going to win the Vezina. I mean, Vasilevsky and even Jonas Korpisalo are in the mix. Amazing what Korpisalo can do when the sun's not in his eyes. And for the rookies, yeah, Connor Bedard, 63 points. I still absolutely hate that they didn't give him a gold by default so that they could use him as the poster boy for X Factor development, but it is what it is. Or the fact that Leo Carlson has no abilities whatsoever, but it's cool. I swear it's fine. Everything's gonna be fine. Let's see how the playoffs go here. I don't know if Tucson made it. I'm not too intrigued in them, even if they did, if I'm being honest. Sorry, Tucson, but you're Tucson. And the Roadrunners did not make the playoffs. Perfect. We are a franchise that exists on both levels, both leagues. So that's good. That's good. You remember the We're a Team? As the Carolina Hurricanes win the Stanley Cup in Season 1, and their former AHL affiliate in the Charlotte Checkers have won the Calder Cup. So Carolina-based dominance this year as the Canes win the Cup in 5 games over Calgary, as they have beaten the other Albertan team in a Stanley Cup final 18 years later for that one, as they survived, a 7-game series, Carolina, Florida, in a conference final. That would be, that'd be a fun one. That'd be a fun one, I gotta be honest. There was a Battle of Alberta there, too. Calgary beating Edmonton in 5 in that second round matchup. In terms of the awards this year, again, Carolina wins the Stanley Cup. Nick Suzuki won the Hart Ross. And the Hart, yep. Cale Makar wins the Norris. Cool. Lady Bing to Nick Suzuki. The Calder to Marco Ross. We'll come back to that one. Jake Gensel won the Conn Smythe. The Vezina to Stuart Skin. Vasilevsky to Jennings. Dursey won the Masterton. Jack Adams. The Selke wins the Crosby. Yep, that's correct. Suzuki wins the Ted Lindsay, and Kucherov the Rocket Richard. Okay, so really quickly allow me to bitch and moan for a minute. Rookie skaters. Oh, it's not going to fucking show it anymore. I think we all know Connor Bedard and Stuart Skinner winning awards. Probably ridiculous. The Checkers win their second Calder Cup in 4 years. Carson Kuhlman put up the most points for the Bridgeport Islanders, of which there is no island. Kiefer Sherwood. Kiefer. It's Kiefer. It's Cole. Kiefer Sherwood won league MVP. Julien Gauthier scored the most goals. Matthias Petia. I don't know why I didn't attempt to say it in a Finnish accent, because I mean I've gotten better at that over the years, but also he's the top rookie. We're moving on. Philip Roos with the Eddie Shore Award for top defenseman, top goaltender Alex Stalock, and the MVP of the playoffs, Ryan Lomberg. The Lomberg. So there you go. Season 1 in the books. Carolina does well. Let's get to the absolute beauty of it. Although, by the way, really quickly, because we probably won't see our arena or anything like that anytime soon. The arena's not supposed to have that seat color. They were supposed to be black. Okay, so it can just change seat color on you. That's fun. Just change. Has it changed my jerseys? Okay, I thought we were going to be Vegas for a second, but again, we went with the old school Jazz option. Very Orlando Solar Bears, but I like them. They're different, except the piss yellow of the current Utah Jazz, as I mentioned, just horrific, unbelievable. Let's find out how things are going to go here. The draft lottery is next, and we got pooped on as we fall from 3 to 5 because both Anaheim and Buffalo have drastically moved up. So it will still be a top 5 pick at least, but not particularly ideal for us, I would say. Retired players, we say goodbye to Shea Weber boy, and Brian Little. Jake Voracek decided to stick around, though. And Nick Backstrom retires in Season 1, which, given the injury troubles he's had, that's not out of the question. Ryan Reeves has also gone a little bit earlier than expected, and as pretty much per usual, no goaltenders have retired. Shea Weber's become a scout. Neat. So the 2024 drafts, anybody at the top want to move a pick? No. So we are pretty much condemned to 5th overall. Berkeley Catton's in this draft, Caden Lindstrom, Brian Janisevsky, Tisha Ginla, and Sam Dickinson. And then Zane Parekh is there as well. Tisha Ginla would be great. Don't know if that's going to happen, though. Sam Dickinson, I mean, hey, he'd be a great silver medal, given that he technically has a better potential than Ginla. So let's double check the trade market here, right? First and foremost, our 5th overall pick. Jonas Brodin, Zach Bogosian in the 4th, not worth it. Jared Spurgeon, Marcus Foligno in the 4th. We're holding on to the 5th overall pick. In terms of goaltending, what is the market on Connor Ingram? 2 seconds, 2 more seconds, a second, a third, and Kaapo Kähkönen. Goaltenders in this game are obviously voodoo. Connor Ingram is solid. I feel like, though, that's the type of goaltender that we can get at pretty much any time. For that reason, I am going to move Connor Ingram. And, Montreal did well with Caden Primo, so we'll take the deal from Chicago, their 2nd, and Dallas's 2nd next year for Connor Ingram. Although you could argue, are we going to get an 85 rated goalie for that price? I don't know if we are. Then again, 85 overall goalies don't matter. Typically, at least they haven't in the past. We're going to take that deal. Connor, have fun in Chicago. Carl Vejmelka, 7th in Jaden Gruby. Ty Tullio, Carter Savoy, a 4th in Alex Goligoski. That's not too bad. 4th round pick. Small beer fridge, Vasily Ponomarev. Very disrespectful potential. 5th round pick in Taylor Gauthier. We'll take the 4th rounder. Toronto's 4th rounder next year from Minnesota and take on, Alex Goligoski's deal is up. So it's basically Vejmelka for a 4th, but we will take it as we are going to continue to strip down this team to the best of our abilities. Korhonen, can we get anything better than a 5th? And Slaggert's out there. 5th is about the best we can do. We'll hold on to him again. Just younger goalie. Can I get anything from Matt Villalta? No, I cannot. Can I get anything for Kozanash? No, I cannot. Okay, so goaltending is what it is. Anaheim's about to make their selection, which I imagine will be Berkeley Catton, and it is. So Berkeley goes 1st overall. No surprise there, given the lack of NCAA prospects. For the defense, one more look here at Sean Durzi now that he's gone up another point. Andrew Mangiapane in the 3rd, Kuzmenko, Coleman. Carolina's 1st. Ooh. Problem is, obviously, it's 32nd overall, but a 1st, a 2nd, and Ryan Suzuki isn't terrible. 2 seconds from Chicago, one of which is very early on, obviously. Dallas is 1st, a 6th, and Lungman. Again, you can argue with Durzi, like, are we going to get somebody? We know he's going to have to be signed for about $5 million. Does have RFA status again. Barbashev, a 5th and the 22nd overall pick. 28th, 124, and Fraser Minton. It's not too bad. Lucas Cormier is 2nd and the 3rd. If Cormier or Korczak are as highly rated as they should be, Yazev there as well. If either of those two are well rated as they should be, I'm not against taking this deal. Cormier is a 76 at 22 years old, similar potential. And what was Caden Korczak? 75 of 23. I honestly don't hate this. I mean, whether or not Cormier becomes exactly as good as Sean Durzi, who's to say? But this could cause immense cap issues for Vegas, and we get some extra draft picks as well. We're going to move on from Sean Durzi. I think that's worth it, at least for now, based on the structure of our team. As again, let's be honest, we need to tear this sumbitch down and build it up in our own image. JJ Moser. It would need to be a really, really good deal for JJ Moser. A first, a third, and Alexander Pashin is not quite that. 2 seconds is also not going to get the job done for me. Xavier Bourgault and a second. Oliver Kapanen, not quite. That Bourgault deal is not that bad. 22nd overall in Vasainen. I think that deal will go through before we can do anything. A second in Pronomarev. Nico Hatanen and a second. Topi Niemela, that's not too bad either. Okay, let's let that Buffalo pick go through. There's a chance we deal Moser as Buffalo takes Lindstrom with the 2nd overall pick. San Jose's up next. I didn't plan on trading JJ Moser. However, by the time we're good, he's going to be in his late 20s. So it's Hatanen or Bourgault. How good is Xavier at this point? How good are you? 21 to 73 and a medium 6. That's obviously not amazing. How good have they made Hatanen in this game? 68 to 20. Really? Only a 68, huh? Seems low. What would be Xavier if we were to do it? It's tough to say if we should take that particular deal from Moser. The problem is he is not going to be a big point producer, and you might as well just bring in a more natural defenseman because he's just never going to be worth the big bucks. At least that's the way the game has typically worked over the years. So for that reason, a deal for Xavier Bourgault in the 58th, or we do take a first-round pick, 28 from Toronto, 22nd from New York. We're going to take that 22nd overall pick from the New York Rangers for JJ Moser. Pick up the sign-in as well. Soderstrom, 23 years old. Again, same thing. Is never going to be a big point producer, dime a dozen type of player. If we can cash out on his value, we should. Fabian Lysell, Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen. Get us another goalie into the system. Lysell at a medium 6 isn't bad, though. Maverick Bourque. It's a high 9, really. They didn't give Maverick Bourque a medium 6. 2nd and the 4th, Robbie Fabry. Does anybody want to extend and offer a first-round pick? Doesn't look like it. The Oliver Kapanen offer was back on the board. Ponomarev. 2nd and the 3rd from St. Louis. Easton Cowan only has a medium? Jesus, they're so bad. The ratings are so bad. I mean, a 2nd and a 3rd, or we do a swap for Fabian Lysell. I don't know how good he's been rated in this game. That's not bad. We'll do it. 1 for 1. Victor Soderstrom for Fabian Lysell as we will continue to tear down this Coyotes team. The Sharks select Jansevsky. So the big question is, who will Chicago take between Iginla or Dickinson to kick us off here? Maverick Lamoureux is not bad. I do just want to see what's out there. 2/3, a 2nd and a 4th. I mean, second, you might end up with a Maverick Lamoureux for that 2nd, but it's unlikely. A 2nd and a 3rd from Montreal. I mean, it had to be in for the guy with the French name, right? 2nd and a 3rd. I think we keep him, though. You know, they're in that next crop. Kalachnikov. I can't imagine it's going to be anything great. Landon Slaggert. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty much people of equal value and just trying to swap people out that might be a better fit for what the team needs at the time. But obviously we need everything. So, yeah. Man, Zach Dean, only a medium. What the hell? I don't understand. We'll keep Kalachnikov. There's not going to be too much there. And someone like Montana Onyebuchi, 70 fighting skill. Jesus Christ, EA. This is atrocious. Can I flip Goligoski's signing rights for anything? Goaltender Taylor Gauthier. Let's do that. At least we have another goalie in the system then. Patrick Koch. Nothing there. Steven Kampfer. Nothing. Cam Crotty. Nothing. Okay. What about Goldsmith as a medium 7th? Anson's or I'll take Anson's, whatever. That's an upgrade potential-wise. What about Kipke? For Foster, I will... they are about even. Let's just keep Kipke, I guess. And then Zuber. Anything for you? It's also about equal. Yeah. Well, Blomqvist is a medium starter. That's a pretty good flip. Zuber for Blomqvist. Let's do that as well. And then Kalachinok, again, there wasn't too much out there. There's a whole lot of offers, but they're all pretty much level playing field. Langlois, the Langlois. Again, medium 6, medium 9, pretty much even out, so we need something better than that. A 4th round pick isn't too bad, but we're unlikely to get somebody that good with that pick. So we have really torn things down here on the defensive front. Chicago is going to select Iginla. That's a shame. So we will end up with Sam Dickinson, which I'm not too upset about, to get kind of that cornerstone defenseman, given who we just traded away. Really quickly, Blomqvist, obviously, 71 at 22 is not amazing, but my hope was then we could find somebody and that he'd have a little bit higher value than Zuber. But it doesn't appear to be the case. I am willing to give him Corson Kuhlman's. Okay. Every time. Every time. I'm willing to let him try to develop, right? Because of what goalies typically end up looking like. So we're fine there. On that right wing side, what is the market for Clayton Keller? There is no market for Clayton Keller. So he goes nowhere. We're willing to keep these younger players. Vasainen is absolutely terrible. We'll take Ryan Mast from the Bruins instead. Let's just double check what Ryan Mast looks like. Is there any market for him? There isn't, but he's better than Vasainen. I mean, that guy was tragic. Kashkovic, at least to the 73 at 23. Zach Ewens. We'll take that as well. Get another defender into the system. Gelman, nothing for him. Silverberg, nothing for his signing rights. And then Voracek, nothing for him either. Left wing side, Gunther's going nowhere. What is the market for Lawson Krause? A 2nd, a 3rd, and Colin White. Mason Lohrei, a 3rd and a 4th. That's not bad. 2 seconds and Passion. 2nd and a 3rd. 2nd, 3rd, Zaboral. 2nd, 3rd, Dufour. De Kaiser. Tannen in a 2nd. 2 seconds. 2nd, 3rd, Lundmark, Niyazev. Lohrei, a 3rd and a 4th is pretty damn good. Not that I planned on making another trade with the Boston Bruins, but it's kind of where we're at right now. 23 years old, 78, medium top 4. Fits the bill. Is going to definitely be more of a defenseman, obviously. Gets rid of the Lawson Krause contract. Not that Krause is on a particularly bad deal. I actually think we're going to hold on to Lawson Krause. It's not quite enough. Not quite enough for me. Maselli. 2 thirds, 3rd to 4th for Gula. Man, Lohrei is there again, but 2nd to 3rd, Nystrom, 2 4th. Yeah, nothing particularly jumping off the page here. As, oh my God, we have to take that deal type of offer. I mean, Maselli was good this year, listed as a playmaker. Should be able to put up some offensive numbers. Lascelles goes nowhere. Michael Carcone, if I can get anything for him, I should. Even a 3rd round pick would be pretty good. Again, he's the type of player that we can find pretty much anywhere. And is a little bit older. Stujov, Regula, and Jackson Edward. 3rd round pick looks like it is going to be the best that we can get as we look to tear this team down. And yeah, that's going to be the one. I don't really want Carolina's third rounder. And again, I probably don't want Toronto's third rounder either. We'll take the one from Carolina this year, 96th overall from Michael Carcone. McCartney, I highly doubt I can get anything for you, and that's fine. Justin Kirkland, nothing for you. And then last but not least, the centers, Nick Schmaltz. Second to third in white. 2 seconds from Chicago. Second to third, Blankenburg. 21st overall pick from Dallas. It's pretty nice. 2 seconds into Kaiser. 21st overall pick for Nick Schmaltz. It didn't do well last year. He does have 2 playmaking abilities, though. The problem I'm seeing is that he's listed as a freaking two-way, so I don't even know if it's going to matter. I mean, he's on a slightly more expensive contract than you'd want him on. I think I'll hold on to him. Nick Bjugstad, though. Lorien a 6th, a 2nd and a 4th. Maverick Bork and a 3rd. That's very tempting. 2nd and Kufler. I think it's got to be that Maverick Bork trade. I think it has to be. Yeah. We'll take that deal from Dallas for Nick Bjugstad. Hayton, I won't mind keeping. There's Jack McBain as well. I mean, obviously, you look at it, it's like, okay, how many centers do we have? Especially now that we've added in Maverick Bork. And the answer is we have a lot of potential centers on this team. But it is a good young crop of talent. It's just, how do we hold on to Nick Schmaltz? I mean, Schmaltz and Cooley being the 1-2. I mean, right now the center core is Schmaltz, Cooley, Hayton, McBain, which isn't bad. I don't think we have to necessarily make any change yet. Smith can go if there's a good enough deal. Unfortunately, that is not looking likely. There's 35 offers here, and none of them are going to be for the quality that I want. Could get Max Zuber back. I mean, I got to get something here for Smith. I don't want to take Baines away from Vancouver. Let's go for the Colorado 6th rounder, because Smith just is not going to fit on this team anymore. Farinacci's in the mix. Can I get anything for Alex Kerfoot? Marcel, Kufler, Finley, or McWard and Glover? It makes sense to take this just because we also get McWard. 2 for 1. So Alex Kerfoot on his way to Vancouver. Pretty simple deal for us. Liam O'Brien. Yeah, no market for him. No market for McGregor. What about Barron? Nothing there either. Glover wasn't particularly good, but whatever, we can use him in the system. None of these guys are going to have any value whatsoever. Not even Curtis Douglas anymore. So we have 2 minutes to go before we have to finally make this pick. How good was Landry, by the way? 62-20. He needs to go for whoever we can get, even if it is Mike McCarron or Millman. We'll take Graham Sword. Why not? We've used him in plenty of franchises in the past. Sasson, if I can flip you for anybody, I should. And make another deal with the Bruins. Why not? Let's bring on Myrenberg as we just continue to flip and to flip and to flip as best we can. But for the moment, I actually think we're okay. Like the center situation will have to sort itself out. Left wing wise, we're good with Gunther, Krause, Maselli. I mean, no problem there. Right wing side will obviously need a lot of work. And then defensively, we'll see what else kind of happens from there. But in terms of the draft picks now, 2 firsts, 3 seconds, all of the third rounders this year. A good chance to kind of restock the cupboards. And that starts with the 5th overall pick. We are going to be taking defenseman from the London Knights, Sam Dickinson, 74 medium elites. And we'll go ahead. We haven't looked at the draft board in terms of whether or not it would be worth trading up. The first team we could trade up with is the Islanders at 15. And around that 15th pick, Chromiak, Consta Hellenius, Clark Caswell, Luke Misa, Andrew Basha. If the Islanders are willing to trade that 15th pick for a decent price, we could do it. And yeah, there's just nothing that they want to do there. Is there anybody else who's willing to trade up? Dallas at 21. Toronto at 28. Dallas, Toronto, Colorado, Carolina. So let's see. Dallas. Do you want to move that pick for anything? Connor Geeky in 2/3. That's going to be a no from me. Colorado. Do you want to move that 30th pick? Geeky and McBain, LaSalle and Bow. Cormier in a 3rd. Josh Doan in a 3rd. I'm going to say no to that as well. Carolina, and then obviously we'll look at Toronto at the end. Carolina's Lawson Krause, Barrett Hayton in 2/3. Maselli, yeah, not really feeling that either. So I highly doubt I'll like the Toronto deal. Hayton in a 3rd. Yeah, again, I want to hold on to Barrett Hayton. So we are good then to sim to our next pick at this stage. Pick number 22. And available to us here, Henry Muse as another defenseman. Eriks Matejko. 6'5", 220. Jesus. Branzeg Nygaard is there. Nathan Villeneuve. Julius Mettinen. Cole Badine. The Badan. Galvas. Charlie Elick. Obviously, we got some defensive options, to say the least. I mean, Matejko would be funny just for the fact that he's fucking huge. You know, like that could be the Lawson Krause replacement. Let's be honest. Nathan Villeneuve. You know what? Screw it. We're going for the big ass Latvian. Why not? Let's meme. We'll take the big ass Latvian. Yeah, he's good too. 69 overall, medium top 6 at 18. He's actually really good. That works for me. Everybody say hello to the big ass Latvian. As we'll see who's available to us here at the start of the second round. Simon Zether, Kirk Card, Matthew Virgilio, Melvin Fernstrom, Kardia Kemchuk, another big-ass player. Adam Zheko, the Echo. Justin Poirier is the opposite of that. Alexander Blais, Gabriel Frasca, and Adam Fortier-Gendron. Obviously, some interesting options here. If we take a look at the forwards that we had added to the board, it was these 4. Raska put up some goals. Jacko did too. I mean, I kind of like the idea of just drafting big sons of bitches. You know? Why not? Let's meme a little. I mean, Virgilio was only 5'11". Carter Yakemchuk. I think you're the guy, or we go for Jeko here, who's going to be another power forward. Screw it. Give me another big-ass winger. He's a sniper instead of a power forward, but he's good. Medium top 6, 67 overall. That's a great pickup for us. Because of that, Pittsburgh, do you want to trade this pick for 2/3? That's worth it. That is worth it. If there are going to be some medium top 6s here, now's a good time. I don't think Yakemchuk will be a medium 4, but again, big ass players. Carter Yakemchuk, welcome in. He is a medium 4. Okay, that worked out tremendously well. All right. Philly with that next pick. Now that we have these assets, let's spend them. Philly, the 61st. Ooh, and another second next year. That's a bit rich, but I'm going to do it. Now's the time. Now is the time to get aggressive. Virgilio's off the board. He was good too. But yeah, given that these guys have good potentials, now's the time. We will go off the board here, though. And let's take the short king, Justin Poirier. Hey, there we go. All right, that worked out again. Anaheim at number 9. Might as well see if they want to make a deal as well as we continue to wheel and deal. Maverick Lamoureux, Yakemchuk, or a second next year and a third this year. Also worth it. Expensive, but worth it. And this is why we made the moves, because now we got back-to-back picks here coming up. Card was a low elite. Damn. We got back-to-back picks here to get whoever else we want, which I think will be Blais and Frasca. Gendron is also an option. Tomas Mercic, also an option. Again, if you guys know, season 1, I always like to go with players that we really haven't used before. Players with pictures as well is always a little bit more fun. Just going to stay at the top of the board here then. Screw it. Let's take these guys. Let's go for Alexander Blais. Ah, medium 9. The luck may have run out. What about for Frasca? All right, the luck may have run out. The good thing is they have good overalls at their age. We're done with trading up then. I don't trust it anymore. So pick number 84, towards the end of the 3rd round. Who's available here? Rupe Vestarinen. He's that low? Really? Oh, man. Adam Tittlebach. George Reynolds, Ilya Ulanov. Anybody else with a picture? Julia Sumpf. What a name. What a name. Neil Brookbank. I mean, Neil Brookbank is an actual medium elite goaltender. We should probably take Neil Brookbank. Eric Berger. And Marek Vanacker. What a name. Oh, do I take the actual good player or do I take the guy named Vanacker? We have another set of picks coming up shortly. I think I can get away with getting both the goalie and Vanacker later on. So Rupe Vestarinen did have a guaranteed medium 9. Is there anybody else with a guaranteed potential that we haven't looked at yet? And yes, Jaden Drury, who's not supposed to be selected until a little bit later on. 136. When's our next pick after the... Oh, man, that's right. We still have plenty of picks here in the 3rd round. Cool. So, we will take Rupe Vestarinen. He won't have the highest potential in the world, but he's a good, pretty good player at this point in the draft. Let's go to pick number 90. And we will go for that goaltender, Neil Brookbank. 5-year ETA, but the value will be great. 57 overall medium elites. After that, let's go for Marek Vanacker. Medium 9, I'm cool with that. And then the rest of our 3rd round picks, the quality of this draft has seemed to fall off quite a bit. So if we can flip these last 2/3, it'll be a good bit of business for us. 3rd and Josh Lapina. 3rd round pick is where the price starts here, unless the prospect is decent. Von Barnikow's not bad. Lalonde wasn't too bad. I mean, 3rd round pick really does seem to be the best that we're going to get here. Could get the rights to Thomas Kubalik. Dominic Kubalik, not Thomas Kubalik. Who the hell was I thinking of? 2 7ths. Yeah, we'll take that 3rd round pick and Josh Lapina from Anaheim. That's fine. And then the 94th pick for the 96th and rights for Colin White. Von Barnikow's there. I don't believe Von Barnikow's that good, unfortunately. Is there another team offering a future 3rd round pick? Ottawa still. Colorado's this year for Colorado's next year. All right, we'll take that deal from Ottawa. And we'll get the rights to Dominic Kubalik. Don't know if I'll keep him. And then 4th round, is there really any value here? I mean, a swap to take Jackson Edward for nothing. That's never a bad idea. Jakob Konechny. Von Barnikow's there again. A swap to take Passion, who's not that good. Lalonde. I mean, there's quite a few swaps where it's just, hey, take this guy. Max Vanner, I don't think is very good, but that's not a bad deal at face value. 4th round pick for Mike McCarron, for Reese Newkirk. Seems to be pretty straightforward in what is being offered. We will take that deal from the Bruins, because of course we will. The 97th pick. I mean, with the 97th pick, we can trade up by 1. All right. We can get Konechny for nothing. Let's do that as well. And then just keep seeing if we can flip more of these assets. Pastujov, straight up. That is a pretty good deal. Elmer Soderblom as well. I mean, a medium 9 for a 4th round pick. A medium 9 is about the best you can ask for right now. That is a pretty good deal. A future 4th round pick. Jacob McDonald comes back. Zach Dean. Easton Cowan. Fraser Minton. I don't like taking top prospects away from teams, but let's be honest, they underrated the shit out of Easton Cowan. So I'm going to take him from Toronto because why not? As we have to hit back because the trade hadn't sorted through yet. There we go. And what else can we do here? I mean, this is working out relatively well. 4th rounder from the Bruins. Pastujov, Casey Terrence. We'll take Terrence for a 4th. That's good. I mean, it's a guarantee. I'm not ending up with like a medium bottom 6 at least. Brunet is not bad from the Bruins. I mean, Christ. We'll take Nikita Chibrikov because we know he was like a 74 at 21 years old. I mean, you could argue like, oh, well, you're missing out on a chance for low elites and stuff like that. But the first year draft, there typically aren't that many dudes generated in the bottom rounds because it's all the actual CHL players. So this is actually us playing it pretty safe and guaranteeing that, dude, we have 96 trade offers. I don't think I've ever seen that many. Holy shit. Hold on here. Let's see. Pick a number between 1 and 96. 13. Nah, let's go. There we go. Thank you, Columbus. 6th rounders. Can we continue to flip? Pick a number between 1 and 98. 62. Can't wait to see what trade offer number 62 is going to be. Hodnett. Welcome in, Hodnett. 87 trade offers. Jesus Christ. Trade number 22 is Cross Hanas. Sure. Dude, they undervalue the shit out of medium top 9 players. Oh my God. 30 offers for this one. Number 3 is Lavoie. And a 7th rounder. 22 trade offers. Number 5, which is Morelli. You know, like I said, this is my first kind of venture back into NHL 24 franchise mode since the beginning of the year. And I think what this is going to serve as is my testing ground to see just how broken some aspects of franchise mode are at this point still. And really just kind of what we're able to do in terms of building up a team, what trade values need to be addressed. The problem is, I don't know if I necessarily have the give a shit in terms of wanting to put forth the effort to make sure things are fixed anymore. But hey, in the meantime, sorry to Coyotes fans, sorry to Salt Lake City fans, because we have torn your fucking team down. But I promise, in the long term, it probably won't be worth it.